My country for the final project was Syria. A custom in Syria includes arranged marriages which are still prevalent, but more often parents have the power to approve or reject a match. Another custom is the 5 pillars of Islam, so faith, prayer, alms, fasting, and pilgrimage. Typical Syrian cuisine utilizes a range of ingredients and ways of preparation. Some ingredients include lemon, garlic, onions, and various spices. Fruits, vegetables, and grains are also staples in Syrian dishes. For example, a customary dish includes kebab, which are shells filled with ground beef or lamb, spices, and pine nuts. They are enjoyed widely and oftentimes served with yogurt. Meat and Spanish pies are also common. Another tradition is folklore dance, for example dabka, which is a dance that expresses the vivacity of the males and the tenderness of the females, and they dance to a drum, a flute, or any other country musical instrument. This is a traditional dance often performed in Syrian festivals. On the left is some typical Syrian cuisine, and on the right is an artistic representation of the dance dabka. Arabesque is an ornamental design found in Arabic or Moorish decoration. Calligraphy is an ornate type of writing, utilizing special pens and inks, making intricate designs. Syrians produce and listen to styles of popular music shared by much of the Arab world. Some artists include oud player Farid al-Atrash and his sister Amal, also known as Ashmahan, who is a popular singer and actor. Their capital, Damascus, has been one of the Arab world's centers for cultural and artistic innovation, especially in classical Arab music. The most popular sport in Syria is football, or soccer, and Syrians closely follow both Arab and European matches broadcasted on national television. Weightlifting, judo, and karate are also popular in the cities, and health clubs and gyms are becoming increasingly common in more populated cities. On the top is a picture of a soccer ball, which is the country's most popular sport. On the bottom left is a picture of arabesque, which is an ornate design found in Arabic or Moorish decoration. And on the bottom right is an example of calligraphy, which is just an ornate type of writing. The biggest sector of religion in Syria is Muslim, which makes up about 64 to 74% of the population, and of whom 80% are native Syrian Arab. Muslim was founded by Muhammad and follow the 5 pillars of Islam. They also follow the Quran and worship in the mosque. The next sector is Shias, which makes up about 13 to 21% of the population, and it is a smaller division of Islam that believes the successor of Muhammad should be descended from Muhammad himself, so Ali, the son-in-law of Muhammad. The next greatest sector is Christian, which makes up about 10 to 15% of the population, and is founded by Jesus, who was sent down by God. They follow the Old and New Testament, and their house of worship is called a church or chapel. Lastly, there is Other, which makes up about 5% of the population. The main language in Syria is Arabic, and the phrase below is a translation of "Hello, my name is Sophia" in Arabic. To the right is a picture of the Arabic alphabet, and next is an audio clip of how to say "Hello, my name is Sophia" in Arabic. مرحبا اسمي صوفيا. Syria's economy is mainly based off of agriculture, oil, industry, and services. Due to the civil war currently going on in Syria, the sanctions and instability associated with the civil war have reversed previous growth in the Syrian economy to a state of decline for the years 2011 and 2012. According to the UN, total economic damages of the Syrian civil war are estimated at $143 billion as of late 2013. The Syrian pound is the currency of Syria, and the top export products of Syria include calcium phosphates, crude petroleum, apples and pears, spice seed, aluminum plating, and various nuts. And again, some of the most popular products made in Syria include oil, vegetables, textiles, mineral products, and metals. Syria's government is called the Syrian Arab Republic, and the current prime minister is, excuse my pronunciation, Wael Nader al-Aki. The current president of state is President Bashar al-Assad. Their constitution was adopted in 1973, and it designates the basic functions of the state's government and its structure. It also defines Syria to be Arab, democratic, and republican. Other topics covered include rights, freedoms, and rule of law. The government type is a republic under authoritarian presidential rule, and the government controls about half the economy, so about 51.2%. This is just a breakdown of Syria's government in the executive, judicial, and legislative branches, and it shows them their main powers, their election process, and the election cycle length. Syrian life is centered on extended family. Loyalty to one's family is nearly absolute and trumps all other obligations. An individual's social class is based on his family's background, and gender is also a big role in the social organization, and the overall social contact between the sexes is limited. Arranged marriages between families are very common to help strengthen the bond between those families, and they are also looked to as more of a political or economical decision as compared to an emotional decision. And again, family is the most important aspect. One current struggle in Syria includes human rights. For example, during late August 2014, a series of chemical weapon attacks killed hundreds of civilians, including several children. Syria's government denies responsibility for these attacks as well as the executions from governmental and pro-governmental forces, torture, arbitrary arrests, enforced disappearances, and many others. Many of these people are sent to networks of detention facilities throughout Syria, including men, women, elderly, and children. These people include peaceful protesters, activists, and journalists. Another struggle is health and disease, and the country's ability to protect their right to health care have significantly decreased because of the recent attacks on healthcare workers as well as healthcare facilities. 32 of the 88 public hospitals have closed. Many healthcare workers as well as patients have been targeted. Many are then detained, tortured, or even killed. A report from the UN Human Rights Council concluded that the denial of medical care as a weapon of war is a distinct and chilling reality of the war in Syria. The main struggle in Syria is ISIS, which former name was Islamic State in Iraq or even Levant. It was originally formed in 2013 and was growing out of Al-Qaeda in Iraq. It is a main jihadist group fighting for government forces in Syria and Iraq. ISIS is an Islamic extremist terrorist organization, and they control territory in Iraq and Syria, and some sources even say Libya and Nigeria. They have operations in several other countries in the Middle East, and they have been labeled as a terrorist organization by the United Nations, the European Union, United Kingdom, United States, Australia, Canada, Indonesia, Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Syria, Egypt, India, and Russia. Over 60 countries are directly or indirectly proclaiming war against ISIS. It is led by Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. In 2010, he proclaimed himself as the leader of al-Qaeda in Iraq, and the group then stemmed out to become ISIS. ISIS has accomplished serious amount of military success by using brutal force to acquire its territories, and has enforced brutal rule in their acquired territories. Their recent overtaking of Iraq's second city, Mosul, in June led to worldwide shockwaves and fear. They are functioning today off their newly acquired territories, and they make money off oil fields in northern Iraq by selling back the oil to the Syrian government. These two are some pictures of some of the territory that was acquired by ISIS and how serious it is and how much territory they have acquired in such little time. And finally, these are my sources.